You know, when we talk about enterprise asset management, it's so easy to get lost in the weeds of work orders and inventory. But what if I told you that the single most important decision you'll make happens way before you even create your first asset? Today, we're going to dig into how Maximo's organizational structure isn't just some feature. It's the actual blueprint for success, for solid data governance, and for being able to scale your operations.
Okay, so here's our game plan. First, we'll talk about the usual chaos of asset management, that maze everyone gets stuck in. Then, we'll reveal Maximo's really elegant solution. After that, we'll look at the key levers you can pull, how to dodge those common implementation traps, and finally, what the real-world payoff looks like when you get all of this right. For any big company, let's be honest, asset management can feel like you're lost in a maze. You've got data silos, right? The finance team's numbers don't match what the maintenance team has. You've got different sites, each doing their own thing, which just creates compliance headaches and, well, operational chaos. It's a seriously complex problem, and it demands a rock-solid structure. So just for a second, think about your own organization. Does this sound familiar? Are your asset records in one place, your company master data in another, and your financial chart of accounts living in its own little world? If you're nodding your head, then you know exactly the kind of daily friction this causes. And that's the exact challenge we're going to solve. This is where Maximo steps in and gives you the blueprint to bring order to all that chaos. See, it's not just one giant database. It's this really sophisticated multi-level hierarchy that's designed to mirror how a complex business actually works. At the heart of it all is what's called the organizational hierarchy. This is the secret sauce that lets you manage a bunch of different business units, enforce data standards across the board, and keep all your finances neatly separated, all inside one system. It's really the key to getting both shared services and operational independence. Okay, this slide right here is the absolute core of Maximo's structure. It's brilliant. It shows you how data is so intelligently separated. At the very top, you have the system level. Think of this as global stuff that applies to absolutely everyone, like user accounts and currency codes. Right below that, you have sets. Now, this is a super clever way to share common data, like a master list of items or vendors across different parts of the business without having to duplicate everything. Then you get to the organization level. This is for data that's specific to one single legal entity, like its own unique card of accounts. And finally, we hit the ground floor, the site level. This is where the real daily work happens. Your assets, your inventory, your work orders for a specific plant, it all lives here. So now that we have that structure in our heads, let's talk about how you actually control it. Its real power comes from the strategic levers it gives you. We're going to look at two really powerful examples of how you can configure Maximo to fit your business needs perfectly. Our first lever is auto-numbering. Now I know, this might sound like a pretty minor detail, but trust me, it's a huge decision for your data integrity. How you number your assets isn't just for convenience. It directly impacts your ability to create accurate reports and decides whether an ID is unique across your whole company or just within one single location. This slide really lays out a fundamental choice you have to make. On one side, you can set your auto-numbering at the organization level. This means every single work order gets a unique ID across all your sites. It's perfect for standardized reporting inside one company. But on the other side, you could go with site-level numbering, where each plant has its own independent sequence. This is great for locations that need to operate on their own, maybe like a company you just acquired. And here's another powerful lever: repair facilities. This feature is all about letting different sites share resources. So imagine this. An asset breaks down at your plant in Dallas, but your super specialized repair team and all their expensive gear are at your facility in Houston. Well, with this structure, you can create a work order in Dallas and assign it directly to the Houston repair facility. This is how you centralize expertise and stop having to buy duplicate resources for every single location. It's a game changer. Look, understanding the architecture is half the battle, for sure. But to really, truly succeed, you have to know how to navigate the common implementation traps. So let's talk about the guardrails that are going to keep your project right on track. The first major pitfall, and we just talked about this, is getting that auto-numbering scope wrong. If you choose site level, when all your reporting actually needs org-level uniqueness, you can lock yourself into data conflicts that are an absolute nightmare to fix down the road. This table is basically your cheat sheet for avoiding headaches. And notice the clear cause and effect here. If you try to create an organization before you've defined your sets, the system will literally block you. Get your tax settings wrong and say hello to inaccurate financial reports. Ignore how settings flow down from the org to the site, and your users are going to be confused. The fixes are just as clear. Follow the right sequence, always test with sample data, and get your finance team involved from day one.
All right, let's connect all of this back to the real world. A well-designed Maximo structure isn't just about being technically tidy. It's about enabling really powerful business strategies. Just look at these scenarios. For a global manufacturer, this blueprint lets them standardize processes all over the world while still giving local sites the freedom they need. For a utility company, it's all about regulatory compliance, keeping the operations and the money for different states completely separate. And for a healthcare system, it lets them build a centralized supply chain, sharing expensive equipment and vendor data across all their hospitals to drive down costs. This is the strategic payoff we've been talking about.
And that brings us right to the last and maybe most important question you need to ask yourself. Are you just using Maximo to manage today's assets? Or have you designed a foundational structure that can grow with you, adapt, and actually drive your business strategy for years to come? The blueprint is there. The real question is, what are you going to build with it?